Hey there, y'all. This is Jack. Today we're discussing Ragnarok, chapter 90, and we get Susanoo's backstory, which again is so freaking cool. I gotta say, and yeah, holy cow, interesting. I gotta say, with Susanoo and his whole personality with the other gods, and again, very unique take on what the creators did with Susanoo. I know very little, not too much about Susanoo, and some stuff that they did. They made some changes, which again I'm not complaining whatsoever. Ragnarok. I feel that the creators of this story, in a sense, respect the actual source materials and make changes just to fit more of the narrative of the story, which again is totally fine. But yeah, I gotta say I like what they did with Susanoo, and again, it's a bit of a surprise, I gotta say. But let's just dive right into the review, shall we? All right. So yeah, Heimdall announced that Susanoo just got struck a massive slash on Susanoo from Soji, and Susanoo is just reeling back as everyone is just surprised. Yes, Soji just got Susanoo on his knees, it's kind of great because Soji just kind of gives a smile, and all his friends Kadao and the rest of his squad are cheering for Soji, saying they're just yeah, way to go, this is why you're the strongest amongst us. Show the gods what you're capable of. And then we got Masashi and Kodro talking about Soji. Soji like, yeah, this guy, he's really really good, and even Ghost is celebrating, but Brunhilde knows something's up. As she says, Giri, it's too early to celebrate. The God who knows about the greatness of humanity better than anyone else is none other than Susanoo no Mikito. And she's right. She's very, very right. As narration says, why is Susanoo no Mikoto praised as the founder of the swordsmanship? Is it because of his title, the Sword God? Is it because of his legendary Makuno Makaru no Tusagri? I'm so sorry, Japan, for mispronouncing that. I know I did. No. As Susanoo just gets his sword, stabs into the ground, stands up on his 2 feet, says, I'm hyped. Susanoo. As we cut way back in the day, way ancient times of man, is the founder of the sword, but not the founder of swordsmanship. Interesting, I gotta say. I never like that's a very, very, very interesting concept, I gotta say. Because again, when we see Susanoo fighting in these chapters, he was essentially tasked with coming down to Japan, I guess more like Earth essentially, but more like Japan area, and essentially just to protect the humans and just slay monsters. And he did it. He was actually pretty dang good at slaying monsters with his sword. But again, there was no real technique with it whatsoever. It was just a sword slash monster and done. He was not, parrying or doing some sweet techniques. No, it was just he'd come in, slash the monster, and he was done. He was just that much stronger than all of them. And to the humans, it was very, very, inspirational to them. As Susanoo was just tasked with just amongst his siblings to go and just continue to take down all these other monsters, and he would do so, And we even get the scene of him as he slayed the Orochi, the eight-headed great serpent, and we even see in the background where its tail opened up, where the sword he gets later on, and it's so cool. But in the actual story, I do know this for a fact. In the actual story, in actual Japanese mythology, that the way Susanoo actually defeated Orochi in the actual mythologies, he got him drunk. And after Orochi got drunk and passed out, Susanoo then killed it. See, like the small changes like that, like I know, like stuff like that, but I feel like it's not, I guess, too disrespectful because he slayed the. It seemed to he didn't get the dragon drunk. He just slayed it. He just fought it and slayed it with ease. Stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I guess it's change. You know, come on, guys. I know Ragnarok's like not very I think like the one of the biggest ones would probably be around like what Adam and Hercules, where it's like a massive change to their story. But again, it's like is just changes like this just for the narrative of the story. And as I said, I don't feel it's mean spirited whatsoever. I just feel it's just them doing it to change it to fit more with a narrative of what they want to tell with the story. So I just gotta say, not bad. I like it. It's funny. As we get this one lady just simping over Susanoo as she says, thank you so much, Lord Susanoo. Yeah, he was happy, to help. And he would go around again helping humans slay ogres. And then we see this one guy watching Susanoo with the sword, and he's holding a stick, and he just kind of grabs it, seeing the inspirations for the sword techniques that was inspired by Susanoo. Then Susanoo comes to the remote village as many like years and years just come by. As Susanoo sees this one young man, I'm assuming probably early 20s. I could be wrong. Some dude protecting his little sibling from, or his daughter from a massive ogre or an oni, probably, as this creature is just saying, "Wow, really? You're gonna really that all you're gonna do? Just give me the girl already, so I could get her and sell her to slavery." And the guy's like, "No, you stay back. I'll take on this monster with my sword." And honestly, I thought this was a wooden sword, but it's probably like a very very crude metal sword. As Suzuno was watching, he's like, that boy's pretty impressive, because a little guy taking out an ogre, yeah, there's no chance. And the ogre comes in for an attack. The boy um, gets into his stance. Susuno's ready to jump in, but Susuno stops. As the boy doesn't block but parries the giant club away, which surprises the ogre. And right there, the boy jumps, hits the ogre right in the face, and drops the ogre. Now again, it does look like it. I don't think it'd be a wooden sword, right, or a stone sword, because that would be break. I still think it's a metal sword, just not sharpened, but very very crude. But I could be wrong. And yes, the human defeated the ogre, which I know at first I was like, really a human? But then again, you think about all the other humans that have been fighting for Ragnarok and other feats that humans are capable of. You're like, yeah, I could buy it. In this world, humans could be capable of such massive feats, and something as simple as just parrying an ogre's attack and just hitting them on the head. Okay, and right there, man, Susanoo is shocked by this as he sees this, and he immediately runs over to the boy. He's like, "What? How did you do that just now?" And the young man's like, "Wait, what?" And Susanoo's like, "That big guy I was watching, he did that gah thing, and then you swoosh, and then he made a thump. That what was that just now?" I love Susanoo. He's so great. And the young man's like, "Oh well, that stance you're asking, uh, it was a sword. Even with my small body, I can fight a big opponent with this sword. With my village, we came up with all sorts of ways to use the sword, as always trained together using them. Everyone is using swords," as Susanoo says, as the villager says. "There are also a mural of the god Susanoo in my village." And Susanoo's like, "God Susanoo?" As the young man says, "He is the god who saved mankind a long time ago. They say that Lord Susanoo defeated a monster much bigger than himself with just one sword. That legend is so awesome, everyone aspires to be like him." And Susanoo kind of tears up. He's like, they're talking about me. They're talking about me. I love Susanoo. I love him. As the young man says, "I need to practice more with the sword. I want to be just like him someday." And Susanoo is just welled up inside because he's like, Susanoo again. Susanoo, when I say he knows how to fight, he knows how to swing a sword, but he knows no techniques whatsoever. It's never occurred to him to create techniques because all he had was a sword, slice the enemy, that was it. If you're just so strong, why use any techniques, right, for him? But seeing people being inspired by Susanoo and also creating techniques to try to match Susanoo one day, just by his teaching, as in he just used a sword, but people created techniques just from him using a sword. So again, it's just very, very interesting concept. I gotta say, very unique. I've never seen this before in any other stories, Western and Eastern. But if there is anything like that, please let me know. 'Cause to me, this is very unique. And if there's anyone else that's done it in another story, I'd be very curious to see how they did it too. But yeah, very, very cool. I gotta say, as Susuno just says, I'm ashamed of myself. What exactly is the difference between a sword and the swords of people? What the hell? That's right, it's not enough. Simply sword? That is not enough. As the young man's like, what's going on with you? Susuno says, it's not just sword. Just sword is not right. Jujutsu art. That's right. That's kenjutsu, swordsmanship, the art of the sword. As the boy looks down and says swordsmanship, and Susanoo bows down before the human and says, The narration says, Susanoo no Mikito, the one praised as the sword god, knelt before the nameless human boy in the most natural way possible. As the boy like, wait, hold on, what? And Susanoo says, stop that. What the hell are you doing? Says the young man. And Susanoo says, you humans are amazing. That's why I beg you, please teach me swordsmanship too. As Susanoo became the first god to seek guidance from humans. Very, very interesting for Susanoo. Like massive, like character development. Interesting way of taking again the sword god being taught by humans, even though he has the sword. But again, I already went all through all that. It's just very, very interesting, I gotta say, and very unique for this character. And again, just like with all humans and god fighters we've seen in Ragnarok, they're all just very unique to the previous counterpart, or I say counterpart, I guess their previous the previous humans and gods that came before him. Like none of these gods have like anywhere near the same backstory, or they're just completely unique in their own ways. That's just very, very fresh and unique for the story. I gotta say, I really, really believe why Ragnarok is gonna be one of the greatest mangas of all time. Because holy cow, this is great stuff here. As we cut back to Susanoo finally going back to, I'm sorry, Japan, Takamagahara. I'm positive I butchered that. I am so sorry. Temple of Aramatsu Okomi no Hamakoratkos. I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm sorry. As the three noble gods have arrived, as Amaterasu is talking to Susanoo, as she's like very curious, like why in the world, like you're learning from humans, like that's interesting, for a god. And Susanoo's like, no, that's not right, big sis. It's not sword, it's swordsmanship. And then his other big brother Tsukiyomi just says, "You idiot! You idiot! 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 We've got enough of you thinking about this. This is like I guess like ridiculous for a god to be being taught by a human for him. Like this is utterly most ridiculous that gods shouldn't really stoop that low to humans. Not in a district, not being disrespectful, which is kind of is, but it's like okay, so yeah, gods are great and everything, but being taught by a human, where humans are like actually lower than gods, are they though? Adam, Lubu. I'm not gonna name them all, but you know what I mean. But yeah, but Susanoo, he comes up with a compromise. He's like, well, how about I resign from being a noble god so that way I could be with the humans, which surprises Amaterasu and Tsukiyomi. And they're like, really, you're willing to go this far with swordsmanship? And Susanoo's like, yeah, this is my dream, and I want to achieve my dream. The humans have done so much with their sword techniques and everything. I just want to learn from them. And you know what? This is what makes him happy, as he says. Once you've experienced something so interesting, you can't just stop it now, can you? For the first time in my life, my heart is boiling. And Mararatsu is like, interesting. All right then. You can do as you like, Susanoo. And Mararatsu is like, wait, what's this? And she says, however, ask humans to teach you is something, and it's shameless and act for an act of a god. So yeah, gods cannot ask humans for anything. So he can't do that. But as she says, I will never again allow you to step foot in Takamarahaga again. Susanoo, I hereby sentence you to eternal exile. So essentially, they have an agreement. Susanoo can't ask humans to train him, but he can still watch them train and he can learn from that. So again, and Susan was like, "Yeah, thank you, big sis. All right, I resign." And he just leaves his crown and goes off. And we see again, very interesting. There are many, many gods we've seen in Ragnarok that, well, in the actual mythology they could transform. I mean, Zeus being one of them, right? And we see Susanoo transforming into a bird, which was just neat to see, I gotta say. But yeah, Susanoo transforms into a bird and just essentially just throughout human history just goes out, just watches humanity just develop their sword techniques, not in just the East but in the West, going around the world, just seeing how humans do with their techniques, their sword styles, and seeing how it goes and everything. And we see him watching Soji just training, and he's just very hyped to see that. Now we know how he was able to watch Soji and how he saw Soji, being a great swordsman fighting in his life, and now we know how he was able to do that. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's neat to see. And yeah, and Soji's like, wow, like you really do enjoy swordsmanship, huh? And Susuno's like, yeah. And then Okita Soji, the strongest manslayer. I never thought the day would come I'd fight you to the death like this. That's why I would like to thank you. As Soji kind of like wide eyes as Susanoo continues, now I want to make you boil as he reels back as he's ready to fight Soji. So, holy freak, this is an excellent chapter. Susanoo's gonna go all out. Soji went out all out last chapter, and he was besting Susanoo, but it seems like Susanoo's like, all right, I'm heated up. You're heated up next. Let's go for it. Oh man, I'm gonna give this chapter 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, man. This is freaking excellent. I love this chapter. The way with Susanoo, freaking his story, his backstory, and how he went about things, and how the swordsmanship happened in this in the story of Ragnarok. Wow, I gotta say he's pretty dang good. And I want Soji to win, but holy freak, Susanoo has a good chance. I'm not gonna lie. Holy freak, Susanoo has a good freaking chance. It's essentially Susanoo when they call him the god of the sword god. We all knew that obviously sword he was like really great with it, but we just got more information. Like he knows like pretty much like all the major techniques. Like he knows them, and he could apply them here. He doesn't just know all the major. He knows Soji's techniques as well. Like why wouldn't he, right? Soji just has his own technique, and Susanoo has the sword backing of all techniques that he witnessed. Oh boy, Soji. I'm still cheering for him. I hope he wins, but oh freak, I could see Susanoo winning this. It could be a tie. It could be a tie. I wouldn't be disappointed with the tie. Freak man. But yeah, I still think either Soji's gonna win or it's gonna be a tie. That's my okay. That's what I want to happen, I should say. But again, it could always go between Susanoo and Soji. It could always go between them two. So again, I would say it's more likely going to be Soji just for the sheer fact, not because I'm a human team all the way, but also again if Soji loses, and then the humans are going to have to win the next round, or if they lose the next round, it's over. Ragnarok's over. The humans get annihilated. We'll see, right? Annihilated. But yeah, that concludes my review hype chapter, and yeah, if you listen this far, I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day and take care. Also, I want to thank the translators. I'm gonna I'll put who it was that translated it in the description and also in this the comment section because I had no idea this chapter came out thanks to a friend that emailed it to me and I saw it and then the link to the was it Reddit? Yeah, Reddit. And then I went to there, saw it, and I was like, wow, it was already out for a little while now, and that's why that's why this review's a little late. I was waiting for it, but it never came back. Came. But yeah, thanks to that friend. Shout out, and yeah, hope you guys have a great day and take care. Later.